It takes only a few minutes in the community of Hunting Ridge to realize that most of the residents there have a definite case of tree love.
I love these tall oak trees. They're really secure and they make me feel safe.
Every spring, you look for the big oak leaves to come.
Everyone that I talk to, and I mention that I live in Hunting Ridge, they talk about, oh, the trees, they're so beautiful.
In the summer, they provide such wonderful shade cover.
Anybody who comes to Hunting Ridge and wants to live here better like trees, because trees are a huge part of our life here.
People in the neighborhood really care about the greenery and the trees. People put emails out asking questions about how do I care for this tree or this plant.
Living in Hunting Ridge is perhaps like falling in love with the trees.
And we mourn the loss of each tree.
My wife and I walk often in the mornings and we'll talk about it. Sometimes I'll say, just look at the tree line, look at where it hits the sky.
These tall oaks are amazing. They have such a story to tell.
It's very comforting to me to just have trees around.
Then the fall comes and you have all the beautiful colors.
You know, I never thought about trees much before moving here, but if you live in Hunting Ridge, it's, I think, the most defining thing about the community.
I love these trees.
What's really special about Hunting Ridge is the diversity. We have people of all different races, ages, sexual orientation, and it's just everyone bonds together and everyone supports each other.
And I think we have a real mixture of that in this neighborhood, and it helps with understanding and tolerance.
I think diversity is important because we all learn from it. I think we all learn from it. It teaches us, it kind of deepens our well of respect for one another, and I think it makes stereotypes go away.
One of the strong suits of Hunting Ridge is the diversity, where everybody can come to the table, bring their opinions, and come with solutions. I think diversity is key in any of in the communities within Baltimore City.
When you live far apart, you may have notions about what people do and what people are and what they think. But when they are your neighbors and you see them on a day-to-day basis and you share a community and a space and the same concerns, those stereotypes just can't set in.
So that, I think, makes a good community when you understand one another, when you kind of more or less pull in the same direction. And I think you have that around here.
So something that Hunting Ridge does as a community is they have a progressive dinner every year.
Where you start off at one place for hors d'oeuvres, and then the group splits up and we have dinner at different people's homes, and then we reassemble for dessert.
That is something that I had never been a part of until moving here.
Well, there are a lot of gardens in Hunting Ridge. People take pride in pretty much making their properties look special, unique, taking care of the wildlife that's around, and it's really cool.
In the summertime, you'll see everybody come out on Saturday mornings and cut their grass and kind of get an opportunity to interact with each other. And if you walk up and down the street, you can pretty much tell how important being a homeowner is to your neighbors because they take care of their houses.
We also have a Yard of the Month that we present every month to 2 homes that are the outstanding yards in our community.
And everyone gets really excited about that.
I think it's a great thing. And it gets people interested in, oh, okay, I want to walk over and see where that Yard of the Month is. Maybe I can get some ideas, or maybe I can talk to that person and get some help.
My current favorite garden here in Hunting Ridge is just down the street. It's an adorable white Cape Cod yellow door. The owner takes immaculate care of her front yard and tends to her garden. It's absolutely beautiful.
But it makes you want to keep up and try your hand at gardening a little bit.
The Yard of the Month, I don't think that my husband and I will ever be selected, which is fine, although he's really the one that does all the yard work in my family.
Well, my history in this community dates back to when I was a child.
We are just an open community which trying to work and get our families the best we can.
There's a little stamp of each individual person who's lived here.
To put your feet where so many before you have walked.
That kind of thing sends chills up your spine.
I think what makes Hunting Ridge so special is the environmental, the green space that is incorporated with the beautiful architecture. I think this really stemmed from the 1920s when they were developing these plots, which I think it's always been a plus for homeowners.
There are a lot of great properties here and a lot of awesome houses, and there's a huge diversity of architecture here.
It's not cookie cutter, and it just makes it very unique.
There's a house not far from here in Huntington Ridge that I really, really like. It's probably my favorite house in the community. It's a big brown and tan house, and the flowers outside of it are just perfect. And I've kind of met the people a few times where we've spoken, and I've also told them how much I appreciate their house. But that's my favorite house in the community.
I have a couple of favorite houses. One is, I called it the Weaver House. And the Weaver House is special to me because Mrs. Weaver moved out of her house at the age of 97. Her father built this house for her as a wedding gift. And there's only been about 3 owners of this house. And I thought that was kind of a nice old story to tell, that her father presenting her with this house, this beautiful house, for a wedding gift.
The great thing is that we have Leakin Park right down the street.
I'm in Leakin Park just about every day, and I'm usually by myself. I take walks there, I take hikes there.
And it's funny, a lot of people say Leakin Park, how do you enjoy Leakin Park? Because I think it's been maligned in many ways, I think through the years. So the park is beautiful.
A lot of people know Leakin Park, and they might know it by its reputation, which has been a serial dumping grounds, so to speak, over the decades. I'm here to tell you that's not the case.
Lincoln Park has such a questionable reputation, but I actually get a lot of joy going through the park during the seasons and seeing the seasons come and go.
I think probably for the last 8 years, I've gone there at least 200 days a year, and I haven't had one thing happen to me. And I've been there into the evenings as well.
We walk in the park sometimes, we bike ride down there, we use the Gwynns Falls Trail. And we could just, ride out. I could ride my bike right down my driveway down and be in the park in 3 minutes. So I think that's my, I think of that as a kind of my garden and kind of an extension of my backyard, if you will. And that's the place I enjoy.
We have volunteers who will go out once a month to drive the neighborhood.
If someone looks suspicious, they're on it.
Hunting Ridge, it was really the first neighborhood to have speed bumps.
I didn't know that. I didn't know we were the first community in Baltimore to have speed bumps, and they're fine, they're good, because there's families with little children.
It's just good to see the kids leaving and coming from school each day and being able to be a part of their lives also, and them be a part of Huntington Ridge.
When I look in the future of our community, I see still a vibrant community, a community that still talks to one another, a community that gets the vote out, a community that cares about one another.
I think more neighborhoods would be stronger if they kind of, if they were like Hunting Ridge in the sense of people coming together to solve problems, kind of keeping hope alive, to quote that old Jesse Jackson line. I think it's really true. I mean, you have to struggle for success, right? You have to struggle to keep neighborhoods strong. And I think Hunting Ridge has a lot of people committed to that.
My favorite thing about Hunting Ridge are the neighbors. They look out for me, I look out for them. They're incredibly kind, fun, thoughtful people.
It's got its own feel. It's a happy place.
For more information on Baltimore neighborhoods and full episodes of My Town, go to www.charmtv.tv.